Dr. Chang said that I'm not in remission. I'm cured.
What happens when Stella finds out she no longer has cancer? She gets a life sentence, which is CW's new show, so let's break down episode 1 right here on What Happened. How's it going, y'all? Lisa here, and it's time to talk about the CW's newest show, Life Sentence. That's right, Lucy Hale has traded in Freeform for the CW, and this time around she plays a young woman named Stella who has had cancer for 8 years. She then finds out that her treatment has worked and her cancer is gone, and she begins to discover all the secrets the people around her have been keeping. Yeah, it gets pretty messy. So after watching the first episode, my verdict is it's pretty over the top, predictable, and cheesy, and there's lots of jokes about her story being similar to all those cancer romance movies. But you know what? I kinda am a sucker, so I'm willing to continue to give this show a go. I watched it originally because of Lucy Hale. I think she's really charming and I've always liked her, and she really holds this show together because it was obviously made as a starring vehicle for her. Now you gotta remember, pilot episodes aren't usually the best episodes, so hopefully the season will get better as time goes on. But my first thoughts, it's got its quirks, it's got its charm, it's kind of nothing that you haven't seen before, I feel like, but I'm willing to give a chance to the second episode. Also, these recaps, I will try them out. Sometimes shows don't translate very well to video, so if these don't get too many views, then I'm probably gonna, just stop in the middle of the season or whatever and turn it over to written recaps, which are a little easier, and those will be on the website, shineon-media.com. So if they all of a sudden disappear and you're like, where did your recaps go? It's probably because they're getting only like 5,000 views, and these take too much time, so I'm not gonna try to continue something that no one's watching. All right, now for the recap. We meet Stella and her husband, Wes, who's got a great accent, who are trying to buy a funeral cake. They're telling the guy about their story, and we learn that Stella was diagnosed with cancer 8 years ago. Her family always tried to give her a happy life, and she has a brother named Aiden, who's basically now just a stoner man-child who sleeps with married women. Her sister Lizzie is married to Diego, and they have 2 kids, but basically she's the uptight sibling. 2 years ago, Stella was inspired by the movie Sweet November to go find true love, so she ended up in Paris, where she literally ran into a man named Wes. They fell in love, got married about a month or so later, and yeah, their marriage is kind of more about Sarah Bareilles candlesticks than anything else. Seriously, I feel bad for whoever had to light all those candles, because that was a ton of them. Now, after Stella learns from Dr. Chang she isn't dying, the family celebrates, but Stella sees that her dad is acting a little weird, and then her world officially starts to crumble. Everyone's been keeping secrets from her, and all these come out during different family blow-ups throughout the episode. We learn that Aiden still lives at home, has no idea what he's doing with his life, sells his ADD medication to soccer moms, and sleeps with married women. He was also so scared of losing someone he cared about, aka Stella, that he closed himself off from caring about anything. Lizzie ends up putting her career on hold to have kids early just to give their parents something happy to focus on. And she also gave up a scholarship to Columbia and her dream of writing to stay home and take care of Stella. So now she just works an unhappy job and she regrets her children. When it comes to Dad, he spent so much money taking care of Stella, he did not budget well, and he was even paying for her rent now, that they're now out of money and they can't afford to keep the house, so they have to sell it. And when it comes to her mom, she left her dad to be with Stella's godmother, Poppy. Wes also has been hiding a lot of things, and as soon as they learn that Stella is healed, he starts acting differently. Turns out he's lied to her about a lot of things, including not wanting kids, he doesn't like Sarah Bareilles or Love Actually, and he sometimes just wants quickies and to be spanked instead of long love-making sessions. They pretty much realize they don't really know each other, they haven't been honest, and Wes is kind of worried he'll have to keep putting on a show to make Stella happy for the rest of their lives, because originally he thought that was only going to be 6 to 8 months and he could handle it. Stella, on the other hand, is trying to figure out what to do with her life now that, she's alive, so she gets a job at a coffee shop because she needs to start paying for her own rent, but that doesn't go so well. She even tries to babysit Lizzie's kids, and yeah, she's pretty bad at that too. Things hit all-time explosiveness at her thank you party for Dr. Chang, so Stella grabs a bottle of wine, leaves the party, and heads to the place with the best view of the city, her old hospital room, where she drinks her wine and watches Sweet November. She then meets a young cancer patient named Sadie and vents to her about everything that's going on, and then offers to listen to Sadie if Sadie ever needs to talk about anything. Sadie instead has some other ideas and gives her some advice.
If cancer taught me one thing, it's that you can get through anything as long as someone has your back.
Now, just as Stella thinks no one has her back, like who would that be? Wes shows up in the hospital hallway with another bottle of wine, and she realizes he's the one who has her back. This moment leads to a quickie session in the supply closet, complete with a spank. They both apologize to each other and say they want to get to know the real versions of each other, and they're going to try to be more honest. Stella admits that she's terrified of the future and that she's scared she'll mess it up or waste it. She also says she's wanted kids and she's dreamed of having a little girl, but she's scared because what if that little girl got sick? Wes just tells her she can't think like that and they're going to get through whatever comes their way together. The episode ends with Mom moving in with Poppy, Lizzie quitting her job to stay at home and write again, Dad putting the house up for sale, and Aiden says that he's trying to figure out what to do with his life, and that he also got that married woman Marlene he was seeing pregnant. Also, Stella has taken over duties hosting family dinners, and no matter how dysfunctional they may be, which they are, she's happy to be alive. So yeah, that wraps up the events of this first episode, really, and it was an episode obviously filled with backstory and introducing us to all our characters, so it kind of seemed like a lot crammed into one episode. I'm not sure how I feel about all of these characters quite yet, but I am sure some of them will grow on me as the season progresses. For now, let's see what's ahead in the promo for the next episode.
A week ago, I found out my cancer was cured.
To be fair, there were no real consequences to my actions until last week. I can't believe my family is falling apart. Mom! This is the kind of stuff you guys have been protecting me from?
You married a man you knew for less than a month, and he knew you were gonna die?
I think I liked it better when you guys lied to me. Do you think we could go back to that?
And that wraps up this recap of the first episode of Life Sentence. Hit the comments down below or tweet me your impressions of the show so far. Are you into it? Is it too over the top? And what do you want to see happen the rest of this season? Let me know, then you can click right over here for this week's Riverdale recap. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you like what you see. My name's Lisa. Thanks so much for watching.